This bill will unquestionably strengthen our economy and help to grow jobs that support the livelihood of Coloradans and Americans in both rural and urban communities. And that's what our constituents in Pennsylvania and Ohio, Arkansas are demanding that we do. Work together across the aisle that will help put people back to work. Mr. President, I want to take a second or two to thank the members of the Senate Agricultural Committee, especially Chairwoman Stabenow and Ranking Member Roberts, for their efforts to bring a bipartisan bill to the floor. As with most of our work in the Senate, and when we're at our best, compromise is key, and it rules the day. And I'm pleased that we're now discussing a bill that will provide certainty to our farmers and ranchers over the next 5 years. Let me tell you some of the other things the bill will do. It will improve opportunities for beginning farmers and ranchers to enter the agricultural sector. It will streamline and maintain valuable programs that support voluntary conservation practices on the farm. And it will responsibly extend important nutrition programs, all the while reducing our deficit by more than $23 billion. Yes, you heard that correctly, while reducing our federal budget deficit by over $23 billion. And, Mr. President, there are many important aspects to each title in the bill, but I want to take a few minutes to speak specifically about the forestry title, particularly given the news of the large wildfires in my state, in New Mexico, and other portions of the West. The forestry portion of the Farm Bill has been of particular interest to me and my constituents because of its bearing on my state's economy and on the public safety of so many Coloradans. Good stewardship of our forests not only provides private sector opportunities to enhance stewardship of our public lands, it also protects wilderness and roadless areas, all while sustaining a strong tourism industry. And indeed, activities like hiking, skiing, shooting, and angling contribute over $10 billion a year to Colorado's economy, supporting 100,000 Colorado jobs. Now, the Senate Ag Committee did a commendable job in building a responsible approach to addressing forest health. I have a few additional concerns that I hope we can address during the amendment process, but I want to emphasize the importance of this title in particular because of the need to address a growing emergency in our western forests caused by the largest bark beetle outbreak in recorded history. From the West Coast, Mr. President, through the Rocky Mountains all the way to the Black Hills of the Dakotas, this infestation has killed more than 41 million acres of trees, and it's anticipated to continue to kill millions more in the years to come as it spreads. In my state alone, and this breaks my heart to share this with you, the bark beetle is expected to kill every single lodgepole pine. When that takes effect, when every tree is killed, then 100,000 trees a day are going to fall. I know that number seems impossible to imagine, but 100,000 trees would be falling down daily once the epidemic ends by killing all of these trees. And these trees, Mr. President, falling trees, have real and often devastating impacts on the lives of everyday Westerners. And I put a picture up for the viewers to show you what it looks like when entire stands of infested trees are blown over because of heavy winds and other conditions. Massive forest mortality across the West, such as in this picture, has a wide range of repercussions that affect municipal and agricultural water supplies, tourism economies, increased wildfire risk, and of course would affect human health and safety. The Forest Service, our United States Forest Service, has sought to prioritize treating affected forests like this one, where there's a direct and immediate risk to human health and safety. And this legislation will help them to further accomplish needed treatment in our forests. In Colorado and southern Wyoming, the treatment prioritization includes 215,000 acres of wildland-urban interface that poses the greatest fire risk to urban areas. It also, treatment prioritization will include thousands of miles of roads and trails, hundreds of miles of power lines, and hundreds of popular recreation sites and multiple ski areas that are critical to our tourism economy. The second picture gives us an idea of the real risk of wildfire to critical infrastructure. such as power lines. And in addition, water supplies, and without which the West would not know civilization as we see it today, are at risk because of the damage wildfires can cause to watersheds, and because falling dead trees can obstruct water infrastructure such as ditches, gates, pipelines, and storage facilities. Another tool that's permanently reauthorized in the Farm Bill title, which enhances how we manage our forests and would hopefully prevent this kind of a catastrophic fire, is called stewardship contracting. Stewardship contracting authority is a tool that's used by the Forest Service and the Bureau of Land Management to contract with local businesses to fell and treat dangerous stands of ailing trees, and so doing improve the health of our forests. And these contracts help sustain rural communities, they help restore and maintain healthy forest ecosystems, and they provide a continuous source of local income and employment. The authority allows for multiple-year contracts, which ensures job stability and a consistent supply of wood products to mills, not only just across Colorado, but frankly across our country. Stewardship contracts have helped clean up more than 545,000 acres nationally through approximately 900 contracts, with more than 80 awarded in Colorado alone. This is a track record that we can be proud of. The stewardship contracts also provide for critical restoration needs in areas at risk of catastrophic wildfire. And moreover, Mr. President, any receipts retained by forest management activities are available without further appropriations and then can be reinvested locally to complete other service work needed. On the list of successes as well is the contracts have helped to make productive use of more than 1.8 million green tons of biomass for energy, and stewardship contracting has also helped to treat more than 200,000 hazardous acres to reduce the risk of catastrophic fire within the wildland-urban interface areas where wildfire poses the greatest risk. That's where forests bump up against local communities. Mr. President, at a time when wildfire can easily become a multi-million-dollar challenge for every level of government, and as the bark beetle epidemic continues to present a significant threat to our communities and their livelihood, it is necessary that we pass a farm bill with a robust forestry title. As I mentioned at the beginning of my remarks, just this weekend, another wildfire broke out near Fort Collins, Colorado. This is a currently uncontained wildfire. It's now more than 22 square miles, and it is in an area where stands of lodgepole pines had become damaged by beetle infestation and therefore increasingly susceptible to wildfire. At home, we're all closely watching the High Park fire, the images of the flames, the overwhelming smoke, and the ash clouds. And we all share a great concern for the 2,600 families that have been displaced and the devastation that this fire could bring to northern Colorado communities. My thoughts, all of our thoughts, go out to the firefighters in the air and on the ground, and we wish and we pray that they will be safe and effective. The fire is currently 0% contained, which is a reflection of the extreme weather and dry ground conditions. The High Park fire is an example, an unfortunate example, but a powerful example of why we need a strong forestry title in the Farm Bill and why treatment of the affected areas is a must-do priority. Mr. President, we manage our forests so they're healthy, then we reduce fire risk, we protect water supplies, and we bolster our economy. And as we watch the bark beetle epidemic become the largest threat to forest health, now is the time that we could ensure that we equip the Forest Service, conservationists, private land owners, and industry with the tools that they need to cooperatively address the health of Americans' forests. So this is a real opportunity for us, Mr. President. This Farm Bill is a work of bipartisan compromise. We need to do more of that here in the halls of Congress. Let's get this done, because provisions in this bill's forestry title will streamline U.S. Forest Service administrative processes and enhance the agency's ability to partner with the private sector so they can conduct more efficient and effective treatments for insect and disease infestations.